Have you ever wondered what happens to your body just seconds after death? The answer is far more surprising than most people imagine. The moment the heart stops beating, blood is no longer pumped through the body. Oxygen stops reaching the brain, and within seconds, brain activity begins to fade. Consciousness disappears, and the body enters a state that no living person can experience. But this is only the beginning. For a few minutes, millions of cells are still alive, carrying out their final chemical reactions. The body is not completely shut down yet. Tiny systems continue working even though the person has died. Scientists describe this as a gradual process rather than a single moment. Inside the brain, nerve cells begin losing oxygen almost immediately. Without a fresh supply of blood, they start to fail. Memories, thoughts, and awareness vanish as electrical signals come to an end. Meanwhile, the heart remains silent, and blood slowly settles into the lowest parts of the body because gravity takes over. The skin may become pale as circulation stops, and the body begins losing heat to the surrounding environment. Within the first hour, muscles start relaxing completely. The face can appear peaceful as tension disappears. But hidden changes are already taking place beneath the skin. Cells are running out of energy, and the body's natural repair systems have stopped forever. Surprisingly, some parts of the body remain alive longer than others. Certain skin cells and tissues can survive for hours, while other organs lose function much faster. Death is not an instant switch. It is a chain reaction that spreads through the body step by step. Scientists have spent decades studying this process, revealing details that were once impossible to observe. The human body follows a remarkable biological sequence, one that every person will experience, but no one can ever describe firsthand. And what happens next becomes even more incredible, because the body is only beginning its final transformation. As the hours pass, the changes become impossible to stop. The body is no longer repairing itself, and nature begins taking over in ways that are both fascinating and unsettling. Without oxygen and energy, cells start breaking down through a process called autolysis, often described as self-digestion. Enzymes that once helped keep cells alive begin dissolving them from the inside. This happens silently, hidden beneath the skin. At the same time, bacteria that normally live peacefully inside the intestines begin spreading throughout the body. During life, the immune system keeps these microbes under control. After death, those defenses disappear, allowing bacteria to multiply and break down surrounding tissues. As these microscopic organisms grow, they produce gases that slowly build up inside the body. This can cause swelling and changes in appearance over the next several days. Although it may seem disturbing, it is a completely natural part of the biological cycle. Meanwhile, muscles begin to stiffen in a process known as rigor mortis. It usually starts with smaller muscles, such as those in the face and jaw, before spreading through the rest of the body. The stiffness reaches its peak after several hours and eventually disappears. As tissues continue to break down, the body's temperature also keeps falling until it matches the surrounding environment. Blood that has settled due to gravity creates darker areas on the skin, another normal change that helps forensic investigators estimate the time since death. Even after all visible movement has stopped, tiny organisms remain extremely active. They recycle the body's nutrients back into the environment, becoming part of the natural balance of life on Earth. What appears to be an ending is also the beginning of another biological process. Every stage follows the laws of chemistry and biology with remarkable precision. Scientists continue to study these changes to improve forensic science, medical research, and our understanding of life itself. But the most surprising part is still ahead, because over the following weeks and months, the human body undergoes transformations that most people never imagine. As days turn into weeks, the final stages of the body's breakdown become more visible. Soft tissues continue to decompose, as bacteria and natural enzymes complete their work. What once functioned as a living system is now fully part of the biological cycle of nature. In the early days, gases and fluids that built up inside the body gradually escape, and the body begins to collapse as internal structures lose form.
Skin and muscles continue breaking down,
and what remains slowly changes in appearance as time passes. Insects, especially those attracted to organic material, play a major role during this stage. They lay eggs in and around the body, and those eggs quickly develop into larvae. These organisms feed on tissues, accelerating decomposition and helping return nutrients to the environment. It is a natural recycling process that has existed for millions of years. As weeks continue, most soft tissue is gone, leaving behind only the more durable parts of the human body. Bones, which are made of strong mineral structures, decompose much more slowly. Depending on conditions like temperature, moisture, and soil, they can remain for years or even decades before fully breaking down. Eventually, even bones begin to weaken as minerals slowly return to the soil. What remains of the body becomes part of the earth again, feeding plants, supporting microorganisms, and continuing the cycle of life in a different form. From a scientific perspective, nothing is wasted. Every element of the human body is reused by nature in one form or another. Carbon, nitrogen, calcium, and other essential elements re-enter the environment and become part of new life cycles. What many people find surprising is that death is not an end to biological usefulness. It is a transition. The same atoms that once formed thoughts, memories, and emotions eventually become part of trees, animals, and even the air we breathe. This process is universal. Every human being, regardless of age or life story, eventually follows the same path. It is a reminder of how closely life and death are connected in the natural world. And while science can explain every stage of this process in detail, one question still remains beyond measurement or observation. What, if anything, happens to consciousness after the body is gone?